It is for precisely this reason that in November 2017, during Operation Restore Legas, we deferred to the Constitution. We did not act on personal ambition or factional interest. We acted because the Constitution was the people's document decided by the people, for the people, and it provided the only legitimate framework for resolving the crisis the nation faced at the time as the G40 cabal attempted to tamper with the Constitution. That same logic applies today. We are aware that some of these characters in the G40 opportunists, Rigananda and Johnny came lately, characters are now at the forefront of accepting the will of the people expressed through their constitution. Sarabana mashoko panapati kondi and this document I will submit to the man hamped I will not subscribe or like on the bell icon. If these amendments are truly in the nation's interest, let them be put on the people. Call a referendum. Let the same Zimbabweans who gave us that constitution speak again. If the amendments have merit, the people will affirm them. If they do not, the people reject them. Either way, the will of the majority must be the final word. We wish to be clear on one matter. We are ZANU-PF. We have always been ZANU-PF. We will die ZANU-PF. We are not merely members, we are stakeholders. This is our party, forged in our sacrifice. ZANU-PF may govern its own internal affairs as it sees fit. That is the party's sovereign right. But the national constitution is not ZANU-PF's property. It belongs to every Zimbabwean, including the millions who have never held a party card in their lives. Democracy does not permit one party, however powerful, to reshape the nation's foundational law without the express consent of the people. The democracy demands not only that the majority governs, but that it governs in a manner that protects the right of the majority. Why should our party, the party in which we are stockholders, bully other citizens, most of whom are not members of any political party at all? We did not fight for ZANU-PF members alone. We fought for the people. We will not move an inch from this position. We commanded and led men and women into combat. We looked them in the eye and told them that their sacrifice would not be in vain, that their children would inherit a Zimbabwe governed by people, for the people. Many of those comrades never came home. They were buried in the soil of this country and in foreign lands. They died with our promise in their ears. Do the architects of the people of these amendments wish to make liars of us? Do they wish us to stand at the graves of our fallen and admit that what we told them was false? That will not happen, not while we still draw breath. When we went to war, we did not go in search of opportunity. We went in the full knowledge that the death was the most likely outcome. The only opportunity before us was the opportunity to die for the people's freedom. Those championing these constitutional changes are driven by the different kind of opportunity and opportunity for personal enrichment, for the consolidation of power, for the protection of privilege. We ask them plainly, what of the generality of Zimbabweans? What of the mother of Binga, the farmer of Chiredzi, the young men in Bare, our daughters who can only dream of a better future? What is there in these amendments for them? Doma developments aripo muri Zimbabwe tichikontinya awane this later panguva ino. Pena comment section medu dzafungura imuri kudi pamusoro pechitiko ichi. As we are continuing the same later munzo zvizere pamusoro pe the current position yema amendments achirejectwa nevanhu. Watch the next video. Don't forget to subscribe or like out on the bell icon.